Hi guys, hope you are well. Just wanted to report on real explosive new findings from Ofcom that reveal really the reality of where we are in terms of the media landscape in Britain. I'm going to report this because I don't see it getting that much traction, certainly on TV from very many broadcasters. The findings really show where we're heading in terms of the media landscape, and that is places like this, like YouTube, really firing up in terms of popularity and mainstream media's influence waning by the year. So the first thing to say is that this is research that was done in March for Ofcom, and it's just been released. So when you ask people what their number one most valued choice of media is, the BBC are now down to 21%. So it is the most that any single media group has got. But that is, I think, quite a shocking finding in itself, or perhaps not so shocking, you might say, that the BBC, who long have had this massive financial clout and obviously establishment power of just being there for so long, only 21% now of Brits name the BBC as their number one most valued media outlet. Netflix is narrowly behind on 18%, Sky 17%, YouTube right here 15%, ITV 7%, Spotify 4%. And here's a real kick that gives a reality kick. Only 1% of Brits now name Channel 4 as their number one most valued media outlet in this survey. What they also did in this is they asked, what are the top three choices? So when you combined people and you counted any of the three, Netflix narrowly pips the BBC for number one spot. 44% versus 43%. So Netflix number one. YouTube third, backed by 33% in terms of those who value YouTube. And Sky 27%, ITV 28%. So there you go. When you ask people, what are the top three that you value, Netflix is first, and YouTube comes ahead of both Sky and ITV. And I think this is really interesting because although you could say it's not in some people's interest to report on this, and I don't expect many of them will, it shows you how quickly things are changing. It's why I'm doing more videos on YouTube, because you can see that the audience, in their thirst for content that is outside of the barriers of what's deemed to be acceptable by behind-the-scenes controllers who are now censoring shows and debate, there is a thirst for new alternatives. And I hope, by the way, that Westminster is helping to provide some of that for you. The report also finds, oh, and by the way, that 14% valued choice of the from top three, Channel 4 valued by 14% of people in their top three. That's just to give you perspective, because I know Channel 4, there have been rumours Channel 4 is struggling to get decent guests, or very high profile guests. That 14% is at the same level as Amazon Prime and only narrowly ahead of Spotify. I put it to you that in 5 years' time, the likes of Amazon Prime, the likes of Spotify, the likes of various music apps, Apple Music, things like that, they'll be even further ahead. YouTube, Netflix, this is going in one way, in my opinion. So you'll see a surge and the influence of those outlets over the next 5 years. But there was also a bit in this report about people have an immoral dislike of public service broadcasting, and the BBC more particularly. They say that people feel it could be slimmed down. They feel that factors include their perception of the BBC, a dislike of the licence fee, a resentment that over 75s are now having to pay, and their perception that the brand is irrelevant to them. These viewers tend to be from lower socioeconomic groups with a minority in the devolved nations, the report finds. It goes on to state that those who have this stronger dislike do not see value for themselves and may only grudgingly see value for other audiences. Not only do they feel that the BBC lacks relevant content for their cohort, but that there is a bias in the news, they actually feel that the brand is actively uninterested in them and is instead targeting other people. Overall, there is little sense of shared values or identity. This, guys, is a bombshell report. It shows you that the things like the licence fee in mainstream media are now having to contest with spaces like YouTube, with organisations and apps like Netflix and Amazon Prime and Spotify. And look, I find it enormously exciting. I think, you know, there are the plethora now that you're seeing of these media innovations is going to keep increasing. I think more choice and competition is good, is positive. And of course, if you are enjoying this channel and these videos, do give a like, do subscribe, do spread the word. I think it's an enormously exciting time for media. I think YouTube and platforms like that, providing that alternative, is going to make debate in this country better. It's going to put more information out there, and it's going to mean that censorship on the mainstream media isn't able to choke off alternative viewpoints. Exciting time, but if you're the mainstream media, there should be a wake-up call.